Hello, everyone out there in Internet Radio Land. I'm Bobcat,
I'm Burke.
and welcome to episode 56 of the 5 Point Podcast.
I noticed you didn't do that for Dragon Crisis. I wonder why.
Burke, you're getting the... Okay, guys, so here's the thing.
No. Let's
Damn
just
it,
go
Burke.
for it. Let's just go for it. They're going to understand when they get to Dragon Crisis. Don't worry. If you don't see Dragon Crisis, just keep looking for it. I'm sure it'll pop up.
Maybe sometime in September as part of a theme month.
Let's do the time warp again.
If in case any of you are wondering what the hell we're talking about, backlog. That is all. So, today we're looking at the anime series Xam'd, Xam'd Lost Memories.
Yay.
Xam'd it all to hell, I almost got the name wrong.
First impressions.
Well, let's first talk a little bit about who we are and what we do.
No.
At the 5 Point Podcast, we look at the first 3 episodes of various anime series, preferably ones that are viewable for free online, to help you, the listener, decide if they are worth your time.
We have made exceptions in the past in certain situations.
Right, like, say, Legend of Korra, we did the whole first season. Black Scorpion, we took leave of our senses and did a live-action show.
None of us watched the same episodes.
Because Eric was terrible at telling us what episodes to actually watch. Then there was also the time we watched Misfits and took leave of our senses for watching that one. There's a reason that... Okay, guys, I'm just going to declare it. Unless you give us an extremely good reason, live-action shows are off limits for us.
I might have something to break that later, but we will get to that later.
Hell, even the live-action Cutie Honeys were some of the worst.
Yeah. They competed with one another for being the worst.
But on to what we're actually reviewing this week.
Yay!
Xam'd Lost Memories, a 2008 production by Studio Bones.
First impressions!
Yeah, Burke, you were the one who found this. What drew you to it?
I noticed the main character looked kind of weird, and I was looking for any anime on Crunchyroll that appealed to me based off of the description and the picture. Any of them. I went through all of them in alphabetical order. This was the first one that seriously popped up to me. Think about the title for a second. Yeah. Anyways. So I saw that and I thought, okay, that sounds kind of interesting. That sounds kind of like a show I'd like to watch. I'll give this a shot. I've never heard of it before. Then I passed the link on to Bobcat. Bobcat, what was yours?
So at the time he gave me a list of 5 shows. Said, okay, I said we need to figure out something for this slot we have empty in late August. And Burke said, okay, here's 5 shows. And he said, now remind me if my stuff is off here. You said something like 2 I am seriously interested in. 3 I am choosing for rage.
Well, yeah, 2 I am more interested in than not.
I actually chose, what was it called?
Nobunga.
That's right. Nobunagan, which I just love as a pun, but we wound up doing Xam'd. And so I knew absolutely nothing about this going in aside from the same first impression that Burke had. Yep. Pretty much. So let's get to point 2, premise.
Can I do this? Because I can sum up in one word that you came up with. Well, one sentence.
Okay.
Studio Ghibli presents the Guyver.
Yep. Those of you who follow our Twitter will have seen me tweet that somewhere in July.
Let's do the time warp again.
Because when I have a good line, damn it, you're going to hear it.
Over and over again.
Because that's how I roll. Repetitively.
Over that dead horse.
Yeah, Now, for those of you who don't know what Studio Ghibli or the Guyver are, boy gets superpowers, is thrust into conflict he doesn't understand, and for that matter, gets thrust into conflict that I don't understand.
And I don't either.
And gets turned into monster.
That's related to story.
and characters. All right, so I'm going to make a confession here. None of the characters stuck out well enough to me for me to remember their names, so we're going to do that Bennett the Sage thing. Insulting nickname time.
That's not Bennett the Sage.
Sure it is.
I did that before him, I assume. I never watched his stuff.
I associate the insulting nicknames thing with him because unless he actually takes the show seriously, or if it's like an adaptation of something really well known, every character gets really insulting nicknames from him.
So Karate Girlfriend and main guy... Actually, Jesus Christ. We begin with a bunch of suicidal albino people for some reason, because I don't know why. And they're attacking a village for some reason. I don't know why. And one of them is like a new student here, only she's also a suicide bomber on a bus. So the main guy goes to check on her, and he gets infected with like super cancer. It turns him into a monster.
And that brings us to the end of episode 1. Well, also he gets shot by a soldier.
That's in episode 2.
No, that was in episode 1.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Burke skipped over a lot of stuff, but...
Well, yeah, there are also space pirates. I'm sorry.
Right, well, sky pirates, really. They're... Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and say that I am kind of sick of anime where... It's clear that... Okay, how to put this? Okay, so there's this thing in comic books, this trend that people have observed, where comic book writers are supposedly obviously writing for the trade paperback. No particular issue of, like, let's say that in Batman they decide to have a 3-part story. The 3-part story will be written in such a way that
there are no more done-in-one stories.
Right, there are no more done-in-one stories, and for that matter, you can't really follow what's happening in any of them unless you have the rest of them, because elements are introduced in the first issue that don't pay off until 3rd issue, or you don't even know where they fit into things.
Yeah,
that is Xam'd Lost Memories.
Because we still don't know what's up with the albino people or how they connect with the military people whatsoever, and where the hell do the space pirates come in?
Right. So on the plot-wise, we are looking at a very slow build. And I saw a little bit of episode 4 just to say to myself, they've got to start explaining stuff. And they do a little bit. I watched the first half of episode 4, and some things do get explained a little bit. But I have this feeling that I'm not going to have a whole sense of it until I get to episode 26, if I get there.
It's just, Jesus. Because episode 2 is all about, like, another monster shows up and is way bigger. So our main character, who may or may not be in full control, it's not ever stated, one way or the other. He comes in and he starts beating it up, and then some space pirate girl from the last episode shows up, and she kills
AKA
the
Nausicaa.
one monster, and she tries to kill him, but then she realizes that he's still in control, sort of, and asks him if he wants to live, and then she bandages his arm up like Popeyes.
And knocks out the karate girlfriend who, god damn it, why wasn't the karate girlfriend one of the main characters?
Yeah, the karate girlfriend just gets relegated to background. Then she collects the main character, takes him back to the ship, and kidnaps him, and then no one ever tells them anything about what's going on, and then they're attacked by other space pirates that are also giant flying manta rays that they kill.
Alright, okay, that's a good summary of events. It's probably going to be very hard for people to understand, but it's hard for us to understand too.
That's all that happened. Oh, and some military guys talked in a dark room, and they were kind of mysterious and sinister.
Here's the thing about everything. I'm just going to listen. No, I do not. This show does not suck.
I was joking.
No, this show doesn't. This show would insult. I would actually. If this show didn't have elements that I truly enjoyed in it, the parts that I don't like wouldn't be quite as annoying. Because God damn, they had a great setup. Actually, they had the setup to do another kind of Hero Man style thing.
Yeah. Or
But then the
Guyver.
Sky Pirates flew in and abducted the story. By which I mean they abducted the main character.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, the main character has almost zero agency.
right, and this is not his fault. This is the fault of the plot.
Yeah. He is railroading hard.
Yep. I mean, just from a armchair editor point of view, if I had been at Studio Bones and someone had brought this proposal to me, unless something really amazing happens after episode 3, my notes back to it would say, do we really need the Sky Pirates? Or can we introduce the Sky Pirates later and maybe have some adventures on the island first?
Maybe him actually learning what his power is or experimenting with it some.
Right, getting a chance to do something besides fight that one monster.
And then immediately getting sidelined for 2 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, because I like the cast they have on main character's homeland.
Yeah.
His mother and father have an interesting thing where their relationship is disintegrating.
Yeah.
Or has already disintegrated. It's hard to tell exactly because, hey, they weren't the focus. Although
Also,
they got
I made
more.
an Appetitus joke. So, I'm
A
going to
what?
stick with that.
An Oedipus joke?
Yeah.
Where does the Oedipus fit into that?
I don't know. It just occurred to me when I was watching it for the first time.
Okay.
I could stretch this to make an Appetitus.
Oedipus. Now you're making me question my pronunciation of it. Anyway,
He wants to screw his mom.
no, he.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he does. Appetitus does.
Oedipus does, yes, but not our main character.
Who's
So
on
episode
first?
1 has a lot of stuff that I really like. It has a lot of slow moments. They introduce the island. You understand the island. Then the island is attacked by monsters, and the stakes are there. There are characters that you like who are in danger. And then again, sky male people fly in, abduct the main hero, and so everyone on the island is stuck dealing with the aftermath of the terrorist attack. We're introduced to a guy who knows main character's father, who is going to be the military governor of the island, and is told in no uncertain terms, yeah, things go wrong here, it's on you.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's good stakes. And then you cut to main character on the ship, not being told anything. And then you have him stuck on the ship with characters who range from good to okay to ugh. But I have a hard time caring about them because, to quote TV tropes, when do they get to the fireworks factory? When do we find out when do we find out when his family finds out about where he is and if he's still alive? When do we find out what's going to happen with the military governor? When do we find out what the hell is going on with him?
Yes.
When the hell does he get to actually do things?
Like I said, he has no agency. You just took 5 minutes to say what I did.
Yeah, but I had to get that out. Because, goddamn, I mean, the first thing he does when he meets everybody says, hey, when do I get to go home? So you'll be working here for 6 months. I would like to go home, please. You know what would have fixed that right away?
What?
Somebody saying the words to him, so yeah, you will die unless we take you to place X where they can talk about how to fix you.
Is that even what they're doing, though?
That's what they were doing in episode 4.
See, you know something I don't because I didn't watch that far ahead.
They were hinting at it, but yeah, I mean, that's what I assumed was going on.
I didn't know what was going on. I just assumed they had the kid for some reason.
I assumed that was going on, and then episode 4 confirmed it. But it's just like, God, explain yourself. Explain to him what is going on. Don't just treat him like he's being rude for asking to go home after you kidnapped him.
Yeah.
And have told him that he will be doing hard labor on a mail ship for 6 months.
For some reason.
I guess it's like you earn your way, but if somebody had said the words...
He didn't ask to join!
He didn't ask to join. Nobody actually said the words, you earn your way. No, they said, make sure you know such and such rituals, which is apparently a religion in this world. related to the thing in his Popeye arm.
And it is a Popeye arm. Speaking of arms...
Point 4. Also, actually, one last thing about characters. The caption can go die.
Point 4.
Production. That is where I have nothing but good things to say about this show.
Music is very good and very interesting. The animation is nearly flawless. And very, very well done. Like, these characters move. This isn't normal. You know how people move in animes, usually. These people...
Very floaty, drifty, still shots with motion implied.
These people actually look like they just have these little motions to them when they're running or when they're just walking. They're very well animated. I never noticed any flubs.
There was a very minor one in episode 1, but it was okay, I've seen enough of Studio Bones to kind of get a sense of where they put their effort. And it was something where there was a very long distance shot, and I thought, that's kind of not very high detail on that person we're focusing on from a long ways away. But I accepted it.
Yeah.
I just noticed it. Yeah, so from a visual and audio point of view, this show's impeccable.
Yeah. That's about all I have to say about it.
Yeah, it's actually hard to talk about things that you really like without sounding redundant after a little bit.
Yeah, it's fantastic all across the board. I wish all anime were like this, but then we wouldn't appreciate it.
Yep, I'd be curious to see if there is a dub. I'm not aware of a dub if there is one. I might actually like this better as a dub, just because I wouldn't have to read the...
There's so much talking!
Yes.
So, final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
Since I'm the one who found this thing, I will go first.
That's only fair.
If this sounds interesting to you, if you are willing to commit to a 26-episode series with fantastic animation, go for it. But honestly, it just made me really miss the Guyver. I'm not gonna lie. I just really want to go back and rewatch the Guyver. Because there's a lot of annoying little things. This show is not bad. Not by any stretch of the imaginations. But the writing could be a lot better. A lot better.
Or at least it could have a more immediate payoff.
Things could be followed up a little bit better than what they are. As it is, this was written to be a 26-episode movie. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. There aren't episodes, there's scenes.
Yeah. So, I recommend it. Go ahead, check it out. Also check out the Guyver, because Guyver is good. And violent.
The Guyver is good. The penis is bad.
No, the penis is also good in the Guyver universe. It's a metaphor for the Sonic Blade.
Yay for Zardoz references.
Speedos!
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
All right.
Wizard of Oz.
I guess that brings us to my final thoughts. My overall take is the same as Burke's. Not a bad show. If I could get a dub somewhere, I could probably see myself continuing it. But as it is, I wasn't enjoying myself enough to slog through the subtitles, which I find very funny because in college I had a subtitles uberalis perspective, and now I've kind of 180'd it to just give me a dub, please.
Yeah. Long has the time passed where, people prefer Japanese audio only. Mostly because we actually have really good dub groups. We never used to.
Yeah, or at the very least, you had to have the acquired ear for it. It's an acquired taste, like wine or stinky cheese with those old dubs. The only person I can really think of who has that acquired taste is Bennett the Sage, who has had good things to say about dubs where I'm just like, what?
That
was not one of them.
I know. Look, that thing just got rekindled in my heart. You can't suppress it now. And for the origin of its rekindling, you'll have to wait a few months, folks.
Because recording things out of order for the win. Anyway,
Ha
uh,
ha!
I would like this show way better if they hadn't, if they had just Captain Hero'd it. And I think if I had to say something after having watched this, Hero Man, Captain Earth, my overall opinion of Studio Bones is that they're good at coming out with shows that I respect, but I don't love.
Watch episode 4 of Hero Man and your opinion might change.
I guess it's again that sub thing, but I'd say again I respect this show. I respect it for its ambition. I respect it for its craftsmanship. Unless things
I could
really
make
change,
a really bad joke about a lady in red.
but that the crew, especially the captain and the little 3-year-old girl, really drag the show down for me. If it wasn't for the male pirates, this would have been a glowing recommendation. Instead, it's a try it out because you should at least experience part of it recommendation.
It might be interesting. No, really, Guyver. Just go watch Guyver.
Or for that matter, Hero Man.
So yeah, that's all I got.
All right, so if you liked what you heard for some reason, you can follow us at Twitter on Twitter at 5 Point Podcasts with no T. Our website is 5pointpodcast.com. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. Just look up 5 Point Podcast.
Or don't.
And our email address is 5pointpodcast@outlook.com.
Yay!
And tune in next time for the beginning of Dragon Month.
Yeah, we haven't been talking about that at all.
Nope, certainly not. I mean, it's not like we've already recorded 2 episodes of it because chronological order is for wusses. And don't take any wooden frobos. And if you want to understand that reference, go watch our old Gundam review. Good night and good luck.
We slaughtered so many cows.